Fall is right around the corner, which means returns of some of our favorite NBC shows. In the first familiar one to make a comeback, American Ninja Warrior, with all new ninjas, challenges, and more. And joining me today to give us a look at Monday's premiere, our hosts Matt Eisman and Akbar Bajabiamila. You guys, the first NBC show to make a comeback. How excited are you for season 12?
Well, we're extremely excited. We were so nervous thinking back to March at the start of this pandemic. No one knew what was really going to happen. And so for us to be able to pull this off, to get the ninjas to come into one dome, all of us together in one place, we had our ninja bubble and was able to pull off the big production.
It was, Nicole. We were a day away from starting our season. March 12th, we were supposed to start. And it was the day before that things just started, dominoes started to fall. And the seriousness of this pandemic really became apparent. And we had to put everything on hold. And then we had to figure out, how do we do this? How can we safely do this? Can we safely do this? And the whole time when we heard we were going to come back, because we're in LA where things are still locked down, and they ended up figuring out we can do this. We go to St. Louis, we go to the Dome, we limit the number of athletes. Nobody travels with family or friends. You guys don't leave your hotel. You don't even look at anybody else. And we all knew we had to go through these special measures to have the privilege of pulling something like this off in the pandemic. And we're in a dome that seats 80,000, not a person in the stands. Only Akbar, Zuri, and myself in there with 3 ninjas at a time. That's it. 6 people in this dome. And yet the energy was phenomenal. It was crazy because everybody knew how lucky we were to be there. And we had jumbotrons with family and friends FaceTiming in. And it just felt, I think because it had been taken away, like so many things are taken away from people during this, to have it back, it really gave us an appreciation. So I think it is truly a special season.
Well, and I think to the fans and the people, this is why we're so excited. I think there's an appetite for something new, an appetite for sports, because sports has this unique way of unifying people. And I think people coming together, being able to watch a new season, a special season of American Ninja Warrior. The format's a little different in that it brings this more of an aggressive style of American Ninja Warrior. We're going to see some head-to-head combat at the end. We're bringing back the Power Tower. So that's going to be something that I think that's going to be fresh. But also, too, the fact that we're taking the top 12 from and putting them in this condensed situation to where they got to bring their A game every single run. I think you're going to see man fly for the first time on Ninja Warrior.
We are so looking forward to the return of this. And something that we saw too in one of the commercials, these ninjas haven't stopped their training. They were going and going, having to find very unique ways to train at home in preparation for coming to the Dome to be in this bubble. What was the most unique setup you guys saw?
To me, it took me back to the old school days, because now ninja gyms are everywhere. They're literally, there's not a state in the union that doesn't have many of them, sometimes double digits. But in the beginning, nobody had obstacles, and they had to get creative, whether it was going to skate parks. And I think what I loved was seeing some of our nurses and some of the firefighters who are literally life and death on the front lines of this, when they would find time away in their scrubs, in their turnout gear, doing push-ups, doing pull-ups, staying fit, and
climbing up chimneys.
Part of it was for ninja, but it also is a realization of you have to take care of yourself right now. If you get sick, you want your body to be in the best shape. And to see these people getting so creative, climbing up chimneys, it made me feel lazy.
Stay-at-home order, not climbing order. But for those ninjas, they do it differently. But that's why they're American Ninja Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, in addition to the Warriors too, we have both of you returning as our hosts, and we have the lovely Zuri Hall making her comeback too.
Yes.
She's going to tell stories from the sidelines. Has her role changed at all with all of this craziness?
Because it's a new format, new season, and because Zuri Hall is just straight up a flat out great host, we've seen the evolution, and she's really, because of her personality, she's really taken this and made this threesome of all of us together. She's really made this a more powerful, and it's just been a great addition, really.
Yeah. Now, we did have to get creative. I mean, there would be a microphone on a stick for the ninja so she could be distant. We had to figure all of that out. And even our host tower they had to make bigger. We're enormous dudes, but we needed to try to keep distance between us. And, you know, inevitably we'd get a little close, but afterwards we'd retreat to opposite sides and put the masks on. And, you know,
we were tested a whole bunch of times too.
We were.
They were doing brain
tested.
swabs and everything.
Oh yeah. But it was, it really was, it was just, we kept saying, I can't believe we're pulling this off. And you kept waiting. You kept thinking, is the other shoe going to drop? Is something going to go wrong? And it didn't. And it was such a testament to all the work that was put in behind the scenes to make this safe, to allow us to do this thing we love.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you guys this before we go here. What was your favorite behind the scenes moment? I know with the social distancing and with all of these measures, everything had to be new and exciting, but what was your favorite moment through this season?
You know, to be honest with you, you know, look, when you're in this bubble, you have to use your imagination. I'm a child at heart. And so for me, I handled all of these different safety protocols as if I was like the president of the United States. And so we had a certain detail where we had escorts and we had, you know, certain people couldn't come near us. And we had to have a cart take us because we utilized 350,000 square foot of the dome and the convention center. And so to get from our dressing room to the set was a long drive, and we had carts, and it just felt kind of cool. And then we had, you know, our own custom meals because we couldn't get food from the outside coming in, so we didn't get contaminated. I'm like, man, this must be what it feels like to be like a president or a big time celebrity or something.
All right, Nicole, it was cool for him. He was the president. He said I wasn't his vice president. He said I was like a mayor from a small town who was just lucky to be there. So it wasn't quite a good, but we'd ride in on a golf cart because it was so massive. Riding in on a golf cart. And a couple of times we pulled a camera out and we just did a tour of the dome. And it really was, this is such a massive structure, and we filled it. We filled it, and I think that the energy filled it. And it was really fun seeing it being like, this is where this show is. We remember when it started out, but to be filling up a dome during the pandemic was incredible.
Oh, and our host tower was bigger, much bigger. We got an upgrade so we could stay socially distant.
We had a hot tub.
Yeah, I was like,
Already.
it was. I was like, okay, look at this host tower. It was
Ryan
nice.
Seacrest would be jealous of that host.
Oh,
tower.
for sure.
I'll tell you that.
If that didn't get us excited, then I don't know what will. We are so looking forward to the return of American Ninja Warrior Monday night at 8 p.m. on Channel 11. Thank you so much for talking to Pittsburgh
Thanks,
today.
Nicole.
Thank you.